If you know what to look for, you'll begin seeing relationships and human behavior in a completely new way. In this video, we re-exploring the subtle signals a married woman might send when she is interested in someone outside her relationship. We'll break down the psychology behind these behaviors and help you distinguish between innocent friendliness and something more intentional. Stick around, because these insights may completely change how you interpret everyday interactions. Let's begin with context. Why would a married woman, someone who has made a commitment, develop feelings for or show interest in someone else? The reality is, relationships are complex, and marriage is no exception. While every situation is different, there are underlying psychological factors that can make this happen. First, consider emotional and psychological needs. In some cases, a woman may feel emotionally unfulfilled in her marriage. This doesn't necessarily mean she's unhappy overall. It could simply mean she feels undervalued, unseen, or emotionally disconnected in certain moments. When someone else unintentionally provides attention, validation, or understanding that feels missing, it can spark something unexpected. Importantly, this isn't always about physical attraction. Often, it's the small things. Someone remembering a detail she shared, noticing her new hairstyle, or offering a compliment that feels sincere. These moments stand out, especially if they're rare in her current relationship. This is where things become complicated. The line between innocent behavior and intentional interest can be extremely thin. Married women, like anyone else, can be warm, friendly, and engaging without any hidden motive. The key is learning how to tell the difference. Is she friendly with everyone, or does her attention consistently focus on you? Does she go out of her way to connect in ways that feel deliberate rather than incidental? These are questions worth considering, and we'll explore them in depth as the video continues. Understanding this context isn't about jumping to conclusions. It's about awareness, recognizing what's happening around you, and navigating it with maturity and respect. Now, let's move into the body language and communication cues that may reveal hidden interest. Have you ever felt that someone's body language or tone was sending a message that didn't quite match the surface conversation? When it comes to subtle attraction, especially from a married woman, the clues are often present, but carefully disguised. Let's start with body language. One of the most telling signs is lingering eye contact. If she holds your gaze just a bit longer than normal, or repeatedly looks at you from across the room, that's rarely accidental. Eye contact is one of the most universal indicators of attraction. The giveaway is often what happens next. She quickly looks away once she realizes she's been noticed. That back and forth glance is where intention often reveals itself. Another subtle indicator is grooming behavior. Pay attention to how she behaves when you're nearby. Adjusting her hair, smoothing her clothes, lightly touching her neck. These gestures may seem insignificant, but they're deeply rooted in psychology. Grooming is often a subconscious way of presenting one's best self to someone they find appealing. It's a quiet, wordless signal of "notice me." Posture also matters. If she leans in while you're talking, angles her body toward you, or keeps her arms relaxed and open, it shows comfort and engagement. But if her posture suddenly changes when others enter, stepping back, crossing her arms, or turning away, it may indicate she's trying to conceal something. Body language often reveals itself through contrast. The shifts are where the truth appears. Now, let's talk about communication patterns. When a married woman is interested, but trying to keep it hidden, her conversations with you often become more personal than necessary. A simple question may turn into a deeper story about her life, her thoughts, or her struggles. This isn't casual small talk, it's connection. If she consistently extends conversations or shares more than required, it suggests she values your attention. Another clue is how much she remembers about you. Small details: you mentioned weeks ago your favorite coffee, your schedule, a passing comment suddenly resurfaced in conversation. This isn't random. When someone is interested, they pay attention in ways that go beyond politeness. Then there are compliments. Surface-level compliments are common, but when they go deeper, commenting on your personality, your ideas, your mindset, or your effort, they carry more weight. Especially when paired with warmth or subtle emotion, these compliments suggest she sees something meaningful in you. What matters most isn't just what she says, but how she says it. If her words consistently make you feel noticed or valued in a way that feels different from normal friendliness, it's worth paying attention. Next, Let's talk about effort. One of the clearest indicators of hidden interest is the effort she makes to be around you. She may start appearing in places she wouldn't normally be, attending meetings, joining group activities, or conveniently passing by more often than before. These moments are rarely accidental. They're subtle attempts to create proximity without crossing obvious lines. You may also notice a sudden interest in your hobbies or preferences. Maybe she starts asking about activities you enjoy, or brings up books, shows, or topics you've mentioned. These shared interests may feel organic, but often they're a way to stay connected while keeping emotions controlled. At the same time, you might notice hesitation and contradiction in her behavior. In public or group settings, she may avoid direct interaction with you altogether. This isn't necessarily disinterest, it's often a deliberate attempt to avoid drawing attention. Ironically, this avoidance can be just as revealing as engagement. You might also notice her withdrawing suddenly when others join the conversation. One moment, the interaction feels warm and natural. The next, she becomes distant or abruptly ends it. This shift is usually driven by fear of being noticed or misunderstood. She's trying to protect herself and maintain appearances. What stands out is the contrast. Warm and open in private moments, reserved or distant in public. This tension reveals an internal struggle wanting connection while feeling constrained by responsibility. This often leads to mixed signals. She may be engaging and friendly one day, then cold or distant the next. These fluctuations are rarely random. They reflect an ongoing internal conflict between attraction and guilt. She's drawn to you, but afraid of what that means. Despite all these signals, she will likely avoid ever acknowledging her feelings directly. Admitting them would cross a line she isn't prepared to face. If you bring it up, she may deflect, deny, or laugh it off. Ambiguity becomes a form of self-protection. So how should you handle this situation? First, and most importantly, respect boundaries. No matter how strong the signals seem, remember that she is married. Crossing that line can have consequences far beyond what either of you may expect. Respecting her marriage and your own values must come first. Next, assess your own role. Ask yourself honestly whether your behavior might be encouraging the situation. Even small actions, extra attention, personal compliments, prolonged conversations can unintentionally fuel attraction. If necessary, step back gracefully. Create space without hostility. Limit one-on-one interactions and keep conversations appropriate. Finally, prioritize clarity and self-respect. If the situation begins to affect your peace of mind, set boundaries. You don't need confrontation. A simple, respectful statement that reinforces professionalism or limits personal interaction can be enough. As we wrap up, remember recognizing subtle signals doesn't mean acting on them. Awareness is about understanding dynamics, not exploiting them. Integrity and respect protect everyone involved, including you. If you found value in this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more insights into human behavior and real relationships. Stay tuned, we have more thought-provoking topics coming your way.